This video is inspired by a video with a very similar name that gives some Twitter advice that is going to ruin your Twitter account long term. So with this video, I'm making an attempt to debunk this advice and to save your account. So by the end of this video, you will understand the basics of the Twitter algorithm and you will be able to be more intuitive about good or bad advice. And of course, you will also be able to actually gain real Twitter followers. And if you're wondering who I am, my name is Stephanie and I help you to amplify your voice online so that people actually discover your business or your passion project or whatever it is. And I do this particularly by teaching people how to use the Twitter algorithm in their favor. So the person in the video said that she has gained 1900 followers within 1 week and therefore her method must be working. But take it from a person who has 19,000 followers and who has also been able to sustain her followers and her engagement rate, that this advice is bad advice. And if you want more advice about the Twitter algorithm, then be sure to subscribe to my channel and also hit the little bell so that you get notified every time I post a new video. So before we get into debunking the advice, I need to teach you some basics about the Twitter algorithm. The most basic thing that you need to know about the Twitter algorithm is, what does Twitter want? As soon as you know what Twitter wants, everything else becomes logical and you will be able to actually use the Twitter algorithm in your favor. So Twitter wants ad revenue. It wants to show its users as many ads as possible to gain as much revenue from those ads as possible. How does Twitter do that? It tries to keep you on the platform for as long as possible. And in order to stay on the platform for as long as possible, it needs to show you interesting content. So how does Twitter determine whether your content is interesting? It monitors how many people have seen a tweet, and out of those people who have seen the tweet, how many people have interacted with the tweet. And if a lot of people have interacted with the tweet, then it thinks, okay, this must be an interesting tweet. I should be showing this to more people. So if you have a lot of followers that are not really interested in your content, but still see the tweet, but don't engage with it, Twitter will think that you are posting boring things all of the time, and it will not show your tweets to many people. So lots of followers that don't care for what you have to say are actually going to harm your account in the long term. So now let's debunk the bad advice that have been given in the video. The first advice was, go to a celebrity's account, for instance, Kim Kardashian, and follow her followers. Unless you have very similar content to Kim Kardashian, for instance, reality TV, shapewear, or makeup, her followers are not going to be interested in your content. So my counter advice is, find someone who has very similar content to you, and then interact and add value to the people that are engaging with their tweets. So for instance, in my case, I used to target specifically academics for a very long time. So I found an account that also targeting academics, and then I was interacting with their followers. But the whole point was that I was adding value and not just following them. I was interacting, like I said, in the replies, I was liking replies, I was starting conversations and so on. So this is the much better way to actually find people who are going to be interested in your content and who are going to like and interact with your content, because your engagement rate is key. I also have a whole video on how to actually find profiles that are similar to yours. It is this video and I will also link to it at the end of the video. Before we go to the next advice, I have actually started a Patreon page and you can find a link to it in the description box below. And the reason for that is that I'm getting a lot of questions and I cannot respond to all of them specifically. So instead, if you want to support me a little bit, then become a Patreon and I will give favor to questions that are being asked by Patreons and who are supporting me a little bit, because producing those videos is quite time consuming actually. So every single bit of support helps. So if you want to support me a little bit, then like I said, go to Patreon. And yeah, every single contribution is very much appreciated. And now let's go to the next advice. So her second advice was, like all of the comments that are saying, I follow back. This is the same concept, but worse, actually. And the reason for that is, while Kim Kardashian's followers might be interested in your content just by chance, people who say, I follow back, really only want to have more followers. So this is the fastest way to ensure that you will have one peak of engagement and then your engagement will die and your profile will not be pushed in the algorithm anymore. Also, it is just a huge waste of your time. Even if all of those algorithm things weren't true, then still it would take you a lot of effort to like every single one of their tweets. And those people are also not going to buy your product in case you have a business. So why engage with them in the first place if you cannot convert them to actual customers? or to actual readers of your publication, or whatever it is that you are looking for. Just having a lot of engagement without being able to direct people to whatever it is that your product is or whatever it is that your article is just pure vanity metrics, but they are not getting you anywhere where you want to go. So my counter advice is avoid people that are doing follow for follow at all costs, because they're going to ruin your metrics, they're going to ruin your statistics, and they are the reason why your tweets are not going to be pushed in the algorithm in the future. On the contrary, just like things that you actually like. And by the way, speaking of likes, if you like this video, then give it a like. Her third advice I didn't really get. It is kind of like follow everyone who has retweeted something. I don't really get it, but just don't follow people randomly. Her fourth advice is don't unfollow your followers. Yeah, that's fair enough. Although I would say, since I wouldn't want followers who are not really interested in my content, I would do people the same courtesy. So I don't follow people whose content I didn't like in the first place. Actually, it is in a way a kind act to unfollow people if you realize that you're not interested in their content, because this means that you're also not going to engage with their content. And this means that they are also not going to be pushed in the algorithm. Yeah, I guess the counter advice is, again, only follow people who you plan to engage with. Also, I'm thinking about doing a video on how I gained 20,000 followers within less than a year. But I'm not sure if this sits well with me, because it feels a little bit braggy. It feels a little bit, I don't know. I think the number of followers shouldn't really matter. At the same time, I think it will be an interesting video for people that are interested in algorithm and Twitter algorithm kind of things. So yeah, I haven't made up my mind about it. So maybe let me know if this is a video that you're interested in. Yes, in case you're interested, then also again follow this channel so that you don't miss it. Also, I have a ton more videos on Twitter advice. For instance, I have this video where I go more into detail about why the engagement rate is so important, so that you can really understand it in depth and how to increase your engagement rate. I also have this video that is showing you how to actually grab people's attention and how to structure your tweets so that people are going to interact with it. And I also have my 3-step tweet formula, where I also go into more detail of how I structure my tweets so that people notice it and so that people engage with it. So in case if you're interested in that, then also look in the description box below, and there you find the link to my 3-step tweet formula. And yeah, once again, if you think this video was helpful, then give it a like. If you didn't like the video, then also give it a dislike, please. Follow me on Twitter as CareerConversa1. Subscribe to my channel and take good care of yourself. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.